From the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and we got the Samoan Missile horse because they drafted 1 year guys, Talanoa Hufanga.
Yeah, Talanoa Hufanga is a safety from USC. He's a big-time in-the-box safety. He's great at diagnosing plays in front of him, outside runs, screen plays, short passes, and coming up and making a play on the ball. Hitting the guy. He's a sure tackler for a defensive back. He's smart and he's fiery. He's one of those guys that he'll hit you, he'll talk. He gets the whole rest of the team fired up during the game. He was one of their captains, and I believe he was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, the Pat Tillman Award. But he's one of those guys, whenever USC needed a big play or was started to get down this year or the last couple of years, here he would come up with someone would throw a screen, turn upfield, and whack. Here's Hufanga. He's up, he's dancing, flexing, whatever he has to do, letting you know he just hit you, and the whole team would get fired up. So if you're looking for an in-the-box guy, great. He struggles a little bit in coverage behind him, but as long as you use him correctly, should make a heck of a special teams player and a solid in-the-box, maybe nickel dime guy.
And I think that was the idea behind this pick here, is that this is a guy who's going to come in and have an impact on special teams. You don't have to rely on veteran guys. They relied on veteran safeties last year on special teams, especially when the injuries started piling up. With a guy like this, you don't have to worry about it. Young guys going to go out there, lay the wood, make some big hits, and kind of fits a little bit more of some guys they already have on the roster in terms of what he could bring to the table. So obviously, this is a guy who's going to come in and compete with some of these guys they've had for the last few years and that they brought in free agency this year. And who knows, maybe this guy ends up being a guy on the roster who's the next piece behind. He's better off if he's not the next guy in line to be, an impact player for the 49ers this year. But if he's going to go out there on special teams, have a role, he's a guy that you can rely on, especially in the box. Short yardage situation you can bring in. Know he's going to get downhill quick, heavy. He's not afraid to get down there in space. He's more than a willing tackler. I think this is probably the best part of this game.
I think one thing we need to keep in mind, too, is that don't automatically think this guy's a safety in the NFL. Okay. Right away, you've seen Fred Warner translate to linebacker. You've seen Azeez Al-Shaair, linebacker. Demetrius Flannis-Folds, linebacker. So right away, all these guys are linebackers safeties that have translated to linebacker. This guy could do it as well. So you might be looking at this guy translating into the linebacker role and then playing in the box in certain situations. He could play 25% of the snaps, and with the athleticism that the other teams are going with in the receiver position and stuff, maybe in your base fourth rate downs, you want this guy playing, in the box and causing problems as that linebacker. So maybe they did address linebacker at 180. We just didn't see it coming. But he's got a lot of ability as far as playing safety and playing linebacker. I think he could do either one. Like you guys touched on, special teams is going to be huge for him. The attitude that he's going to bring to the defense as a hitter, he's going to be out there, nailing people and really creating an attitude. He's a sure tackler, which I love. And he blows up screen passes. McVay is going to hate this guy because they're going to try to run these little screens out there, and he's going to light up Robert Woods or one of those guys and just set the tone for the whole game. He fits in with Fred Warner. This guy's going to learn a lot from Fred Warner, and this guy's going to develop into a great player. As long as they get his role right, he's going to make an impact. And I think he can make an impact even this year if developed right.
Agree with all that. I think that's a good point I didn't think of, is that he probably could play some will linebacker and, come in and make plays.
Yeah, absolutely is a possibility, like you said.
Could he take actually some plays away from Dre Greenlaw in coverage? Because he's a better coverage guy right now as a linebacker.
Especially underneath.
Yeah.
In space. Very well could. Very well could. You could be seeing Greenlaw coming off the field.
Maybe splitting snaps.
Splitting some snaps. Who knows? Let us know what you think about this down below. That's a great point that Ant just brought up. Do you think he could translate into linebacker? Could this be the guy? Does this mean that maybe, there aren't as many undrafted free agent options for the 49ers as we thought before. You never know. We want to hear from you, though. Comment down below. Do you like Talanoa Hufanga, the Samoan missile, as he was pointed out earlier? Do you think he's going to fit in well? Does he have an impact this year? We want to hear from you. And while you're down there commenting away, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. That way you're notified every time one of our videos comes out, when we go live, when we talk about the draft, not the draft, but the schedule release, which is coming up soon.
Yeah, and at 180, you just can't miss on a guy like this. There's too much talent there. You had to take him. It doesn't matter if you had 7 safeties. You take the guy, especially if you see an increased role for him at the linebacker position. For the schedule release show is going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. We're going to be talking all about where the 49ers are playing, who they're playing, and how the schedule shakes out, and the 17th game, where it's going to, where exactly it ends. Are we ending in Seattle? We ending at home? What's it going to be this year? Lots of fun stuff to talk about. We start getting an idea, Horse, of the Niners, how many games they're going to be able to win to get into the playoffs. 19, okay.
I like it. That's bold. It's beautiful. And all of you.
It's asinine.
I mean, listen. I wanted to let him have his moment. I wanted to let him have it. He just took it away from the man. Can't believe you did that. But until next time, 49ers fans, you stay safe.
Remember the right way.
As always, the 49ers way.
And winning 19 games in the regular season.